Hi guys, in this video I'm going to go through showing you how to use virtual shot in the red dot mode. Okay, so for this scenario I've got an AR-15 style rifle here. I've got a red dot mounted on it. Now if I were to use virtual shot in red dot mode, what I need to do is modify the mount. Okay, so when you get virtual shot in the box, the mount will actually look like this. Okay, it will have a scope attachment on it. What you need to do is you need to get the screwdriver that comes in the box, undo those screws on the bottom, and then you'll be left with the mount that looks like this. Okay, the exact same mount, but it just doesn't have the scope attachment on there. Okay, so this mount is designed to attach to a firearm in front of a red dot sight. Okay, so what I can do is just loosen this up here, and then I'm going to attach it on the scope in front here. Now you can choose to attach it further back or closer up. It's really up to your own preference about how you do that. Just tighten this up quickly. Okay, so that's set up now in what we call red dot mode. Now you may want to lower this bottom clamp here just to get that nice and low, and then tighten that in. Okay, and then that's the physical setup for the phone. Okay, so now what I have is I've got my phone connected. I've just got a USB cable so I can cast it to the screen here. But typically that won't be there on your setup. Okay, so I've got my phone. Now you'll notice that the phone is set up in scope mode. Okay, I've got that scope icon there. All right, what I want to do is I want to change this to red dot mode to work with this new setup. So I'm going to go to the settings menu. So I'll press settings. Okay, and then about halfway down, actually more towards the bottom, you've got weapon mode. Okay, can you see weapon mode there? Okay, it's set to rifle scope. I want to touch that once, and that'll change it to rifle red dot. Okay, so now I'm in red dot mode, and if I come out of that, press back, and go to the main settings, you'll see right up the top of the screen there, it's got a red dot icon. Okay, so that will tell you that you're in red dot mode now, not in scope mode. Okay, so in order to set red dot mode up, what I'll do is I'll slide the phone into the mount and tighten it up. Okay, now one point to note, with phones, sometimes you'll have the like the lock button. You want to make sure that you're not pressing down on the lock button or the volume button. So you want to get that as close as you can and then tighten that in. Now, it may be a little bit off center, and that's okay. I'm going to show you now how, even if it is off center, how to adjust the settings in the app so that it won't look off center to you when you're looking in your scope. So if we go into the open range now, okay, you'll notice I'm in red dot mode. Now, I've actually got an iron sight set for red dot mode at the moment. I'll show you that setting in a second, but what I'll do is I'll hit this button 3 from the bottom, that phone button there. And now that I'm in red dot mode, that changes, instead of adjusting the scope, it'll be toggle red dot group. So if I press that, I now get a whole bunch of options, which will now enable me to customize where the red dot is positioned on the screen. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change it to a red dot because it wasn't in a red dot there. Now that's quite low, so I'm going to adjust this up. Now really what I want to be doing is I can turn on the red dot in my actual red dot sight if I want to, but really you just want to be positioning that central to your optic. So I'm going to position that across to the right a little bit more. So it's central. Okay, so that's nice and central inside my red dot optic. Now I want to decrease the size of that a little bit. Okay, so now I'm set up in red dot mode. Okay, and I would just use the virtual red dot rather than my actual red dot. The reason we don't recommend using your actual red dot is because the phone screen is quite close, you get parallax errors. And what I mean by that is if you move your head around, you'll see that red dot actually moving a lot more than what it would normally look like it moves when you're using it. And that's got to do with the phone's proximity to the actual red dot itself. Okay, so we find that you get a better experience just using the virtual red dot and turning off your actual red dot. So to turn off this additional menu here, you can just hit the X button. Okay, and now that's hidden around. And now I'm set up for practicing in red dot mode. Okay, now I will show you the iron sight mode, which is the mode it was before. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off this firearm. And I'll just put the phone down for a second. And I have a Airsoft AK replica. Okay, now this one doesn't have a rail there, so we've just attached an additional Picatinny rail barrel clamp to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to attach the mount onto that barrel clamp. Okay, so now what we have is a setup like this. So we've got the mount attached at the front there. All right, I've got my existing iron sights here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the phone in the front here. Because I've obscured these iron sights on this side, I'm going to replace those with the digital iron sights in the screen so we can practice using the iron sights of this. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is go into the app. I'm going to hit the red dot grouping, so that button third from the bottom, toggle red dot group. And I want to hit that eye icon in the middle, and that will change the style of that red dot. And I want to find the front post iron sights. I'm going to position that there. I might just mute the shot detection so it doesn't fire false shots while I'm talking. Okay. So what I'm going to do now that I've got it roughly set up is I'm going to slide that into the phone holder. Once again, watching out for that lock button, that I'm not actually pressing down on that lock button. Okay. Now, so that's what it looks like. I've got the phone in there. Now, this is where you need to actually line it up with the actual front post iron sights. So give me a second. I'm just going to make sure I've got that lined up. Now this sits quite low. So even though it looks quite low on the screen, that's actually where the real iron sight is lined up with on this rifle. There. So I'm going to set it up like that. And you want to get it the right size, so you can increase or decrease that depending on the size of your iron sight there. That's probably a better size for my setup. And now I've got it set up to work on iron sight mode. Okay, so I can actually use the iron sights of this firearm to practice with virtual shot. Okay, to show you what that's like. Actually, this is because this is an airsoft one. I don't want manual trigger mode because that will give me a long reset time. I actually want to switch it to auto reset. So I'm going to go to the settings and I'm going to go trigger reset auto. Okay, and we will try this out now. Nope, out of batteries. But there you go. That's how that system works. All right. And that's how the dry fire the iron sight mode and the red dot mode works, and how you can adjust it inside the virtual shot system.